Det var första gången vi möttes. Våra blickar bara möttes. Kommer du ihåg det igen? Kommer du ihåg det igen? Du vill ha icy little fingers. Då du vet det chalas. All in, ingen broms, schackmatt på din vänster hand. Du är så viktig baby. Ja, du allians. Du är försiktig baby. Men du gav mig en chans. Det är 50-50 baby. Men det är balans. Jag växlar upp med dig baby. Ingen annan. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Aldrig titta på någon annan, varför du med annan? Kom var med mig baby. Aldrig titta på någon annan. Finns ingen annan, jag vill ha min chokarina. Låsa och save, ingen sinna. Jag kommer alltid ride with you. 100 gubbar klart jag die for you. Du är så viktig baby. Ja, du allians. Du är försiktig baby. Men du gav mig en chans. Det är 50-50 baby. Men det är balans. Jag växlar upp med dig baby. Ingen annan. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Visa mig vart det finns. Du kommer väl till min city? Nej, jag vet att det finns. Kom då, det är bra lives and all nights, yeah. Jag vet att jag minns kör det. Skön social smart good lady. Jag tvivlar det. Visa mig vart du finns, yeah. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv baby. Det var fan ingen dans på någon ros innan jag träffade någon som det. Du är mitt liv
We stand united in the belief that if you empower community, the community empowers the country.
We are the party that gave every child a secondary school education since 2001.
By building more schools in 11 years than others did in 40. We believe that no child,
Rich or poor, should be left behind.
which is why we give every Form 1 student a laptop to expand their minds and their dreams,
We are the party that put police cars back on the streets.
and gave the police a $1,000 bonus because we believe that we should support the persons who are protecting you.
We are the party that reduced the murder rate to its lowest in 14 years. We expanded GATE, stopped the property tax, and increased maternity leave.
We are the party that invested in you and your community by investing in schools, community centers, lighted parks, 24-hour health centers, and the most extensive road repair program in decades.
We believe that education is always a solution and that no one should have to pick between sending their child to school or buying food.
We are the party that works for you. We are the first responders in every situation, working to deliver a better standard of living for you and your family.
And most importantly, we have confidence in you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is not a campaign, it's a movement based on building communities and strengthening families.
Come out and join us. and together we will get the nation working and moving again. Our children will once again have access to gate and technology.
We will improve healthcare.
By cutting the time it takes to see a doctor in an emergency, we will establish a senior citizen unit in every major hospital and staff the hospital with the doctors and nurses you need to create a first-class healthcare system. We will focus on creating high-paying jobs, fixing our laws to remove red tape, and ensuring that you and your family are safer. We will reduce corporate taxes to jumpstart the economy, create a special investment zone along the East-West corridor, and work with entrepreneurs to build a digital economy. This is an investment in your community to move the nation forward and get TNT working again.
Whether you are from 4th Street in Barataria to Railway Road in Dow Village, from Green Street in Tunapuna to Clark Road in Dibay, from La Hoqueta to Moruga, from Mayaro to Scarborough, we are one people with the same dreams of a better tomorrow. And when we stand together, we win together. We are UNC and proud.
Do you know that in 2016, 66 liters of diesel cost $100? Today, under the PNM, you get 20 liters of diesel for $100. The diesel you paid $100 for under the UNC now costs $327 under the PNM, which directly affects the cost of food, transport, and services. Guess who I'm voting for next time?
Welcome to the United National Congress Secure Cottage meeting. We take this opportunity to thank you for your support. Together, we can make a difference and secure our nation's future. Now please stand for the national anthem and then remain standing for the prayer. Thank you.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea. This our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Almighty God, most beneficial and merciful, Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country. Live from Las Lomas Government Primary, this is the Monday.
Standing as we welcome the leader of the opposition, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do. And it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what the things I've done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do. And it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what the things I've done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow. And your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow.
Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Deputy Political Leaders, Members of Parliament, Councillors, Aldermen, my UNC family, a pleasant good night to each and every one of you. And welcome to Las Lomas. Welcome to the constituency of La Hoqueta Talparo. My name is Balmati Gosain, Councillor for Las Lomas San Rafael, together with my beautiful sister, Sheryl Pamphil, Alderman from the Tunapuna Piaco Regional Corporation. And we will both be chairing tonight's cottage meeting here in Las Lomas. Tonight, I want to tell the PNM and Dr. Keith Rowley, the clock is ticking. Call the general elections now, because UNC, led by our esteemed political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, is the government in waiting. Our first guest speaker is from PD 2055, right here in Las Lomas. Grew up in the beautiful village of Las Lomas No. 3 since the age of 5, attended the Las Lomas Government Primary School. Women's Affairs Officer for the Journey Sports and Cultural Club. She's now married, a part-time professional hairdresser, full-time mother of 2. She has also taken short courses in events management and introduction to psychology. Let us welcome our first speaker, Alisha Mohammed Pakeerah.
Better must come one day. Hold up your way to Mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your way to Mass.
Good night, Las Lomas. Welcome to our fellow constituents, La Hoqueta, Talparo. Good night. Good night to our esteemed Deputy Senator. Good night. Good night to our Honorable Leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Welcome. I am Alisha Mohammed Pakeerah. I stand tonight here to discuss with you the role of sport and culture in building sustainable communities. In our rapidly evolving world, Sure. In our rapidly evolving world, communities face challenges ranging from social inequality to environmental sustainability. However, 2 pillars, sport and culture, hold immense potential in addressing these challenges of fostering resilience, unity, and long-term sustainability. Our little district is no exception to facing the challenges of lack and frustration of today's wars. These frustrations include the deplorable and increasingly deteriorating road conditions with non-existent infrastructural necessities like the obvious drainage issues, and crime now at the doorstep. Sport has the power to transcend boundaries, bringing people together regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, or background. At its core, sport is about teamwork, discipline, and mutual values that are essential for building strong communities. When people participate in sports, they not only improve their physical health, but also develop vital life skills such as leadership, collaboration, and problem solving. Moreover, sport encourages active participation, helping individuals take ownership of their well-being while promoting social inclusion in communities where resources might be scarce. Sport can serve as an equalizer, providing everyone with a shared space to grow and thrive. When our youths are positively engaged, there are less room for statistical collateral. We often feel like the forgotten community, with both San Rafael and Brazil recreational grounds having been outfitted with walking paths and lights among other amenities, we are still in waiting. And it is not for a lack of trying. One too many brave predecessors have quieted from burnout and disappointment, hitting brick walls ranging from lack of funding to plain dismissal. Whether it's a local football match or a community bazaar, these events become platforms for social cohesion, helping to strengthen ties within the community and even between different groups that may otherwise remain isolated. Being second-generation sports and culture club, we refuse to pick up a baton of defeat and have engaged our area councillor, Ms. Balmati Gosain, in our ideas and desires and aspirations for improvement in our community. Thus far, I take this opportunity to proudly announce that in August of this year, we secured an official water connection at the ground. Alongside collaborative efforts of members of community, the speedy advocacy of Office of Councillor, she not only lended of her time and capacity, which contributed to resounding success of our sport and family day event here, but attended and engaged in our activities. Yes. But sport alone is not enough. Culture, the arts tradition, language, and collective heritage also plays a crucial role in building sustainable communities. Culture fosters a sense of identity, belonging, and pride. It gives people the opportunity to express themselves, share stories, and preserve their unique ways of life. Cultural activities from music to dance to festivals and art exhibitions act as bridges that connect generations, celebrate diversity, and provide for a forum of mutual understanding. In our most recent event, our Diwali celebration, because of the dedicated rainfall on Diwali each year, we experienced waterlogged fields. The community came out and their best efforts rendered, but it still remains that that area that makes up the recreational ground is without proper drainage facilities and remain in detriment. Even in small goal is but a thing of the past. Mosquitoes, ants, and Jack Spaniards have dominated the area. And the pavilion, which can accommodate for 30 persons at best, is in need of an update. When sport and culture work together, the results can be transformative. For example, community events that combines local sporting tournaments with cultural celebrations can build a sense of shared identity and purpose. These initiatives are more than just recreational activities. They become powerful tools for social change, bridging gaps, and addressing inequalities and providing opportunities for growth. In conclusion, sport and culture are not just pastimes. They are essential drivers of sustainable communities. By harnessing the power of sport to promote health and unity and the strength of culture to build identity and resilience, we create communities that are not only sustainable in the long run, but also vibrant, inclusive, and full of potential. Thank you.
Good night, UNC family, and welcome to Las Lomas. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce this lovely young lady, a resident of Las Lomas, a teacher at the International School of Port of Spain Advanced Placement in Macroeconomics and Macroeconomics Enterprise Studies, Individuals and Societies. She's a former part-time lecturer and tutor at the university. She holds a PhD in Economic Development Policy from Salis University in St. Augustine. It is with pleasure I introduce Dr. Varuna Bandhoo.
Hold up your way to Mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your way to Mass and God and pray. When we say better must.
Good evening, and thank you for that lovely introduction. Okay, so greetings to our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Dr. Gregory Bissessar, our deputy political leader, Senator Jearlean John, and all other protocols observed for members of parliament, councillors, aldermen, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight I'm here to talk to you about two issues that are tied together: the access to foreign exchange, which has been extremely limited in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the recent reduction in the credit card limits that have been affecting people in Trinidad and Tobago and in La Joqueta, Talparo, Las Lomas as well. So some of the indicators we have in terms of limited access to foreign exchange is actual limited access to the foreign exchange notes when we go to the bank and try to get it. I think everybody has experienced that, as well as the reduction in credit card limits initially, which started in as far back as 2020, and actually then the CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce and Industry brought it to the attention of the public, but it was kind of swept under the carpet, and now it's become more severe, and it's a real problem. Now, when we think about this, you might say, but I am not directly affected by this. And even if you are, there are also indirect ways in which you're affected by this. Everyone is affected by this limited access to foreign exchange and the change in the credit card limits. We are affected by having limited access to goods and services. We are affected by having limited access to medication that we need to survive. We are affected by having limited access for our children, ourselves, to be able to study abroad, to go and do things abroad, even travel abroad comfortably. And this hurts all of us. Businesses are hurt, producers are hurt, consumers are hurt. And the reason for this is we have several different things happening. First of all, we have an increased taste for imports in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's not a bad thing, it's showing progress, right? It's showing that people are having access to more goods and services internationally. But more than that, we have recently had a reduction in earnings of foreign exchange. The main thing, one of the main things, is that the refinery was closed. And I know our honorable political leader has said that she's going to reopen the refinery, which is very good. There's also limited diversification within Trinidad and Tobago. And I think in particular in our Las Lomas and La Joqueta Talparo community, agriculture is a big thing. And I think that we could benefit from that so much, not just in terms of selling the raw agricultural products, but engaging in entrepreneurship as well and value creation to those products, things that people would like abroad. Our Trinidad and Tobago pepper sauce, for example, best in the world, I find. What do you all think? Right. So something small like that could help us earn so much foreign exchange, and that would help with the situation that we're currently experiencing. We also should be encouraging more of the creative industry, again, encouraging small entrepreneurs. And another aspect that we could think about is reducing our spending on imports. Now, to do that, we have to have competitive local substitutes that people actually want to buy. So we have to invest in those entrepreneurs, those local people. And thirdly, the final thing I think would be to try to curb the brain drain, because we have so many educated people in Trinidad and Tobago, so many bright people. Our education system is excellent, it's amazing. And we should try to keep those people in Trinidad and let them make Trinidad more productive, earn foreign exchange, improve Trinidad and Tobago. So in closing, I want to remind you all that when your relatives visit for Christmas, it might be illegal to purchase foreign exchange from them. So I have a little solution. Here, what I think you all should do. You should tell them to give it to you as a gift instead. So that's it. Thank you.
Better must come one day. Hold up your better mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your better mass and God.
This is Las Lomas. This is La Joqueta Talparo. We don't show appreciation so quiet here. Let us hear it once more for Varuna Bandhoo. Before I introduce the next speaker, I want to share something with you. There are persons from other political parties that are now walking in the electoral district of Las Lomas. Please do not be fooled. This general election is between two parties, two major parties, the UNC and the PNN. Let us make it clear that these pop-up parties that only come around at this time to split the votes, I want you all to ask them one question when they come. You can ask them nicely, ask them, but girl, where are they getting the funding from? You don't have to be rude, right? I want you to tell them that which minority party in Trinidad and Tobago has ever won a general election on their own, right? Ask them where they're getting the funding, and we all know that they are getting the funding to come and just split the votes. Don't be fooled. The UNC, under the leadership of the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, is the only vehicle that is going to take us into government, and that is no secret. The writing is in the wall, and the UNC is the government in waiting. Our next speaker is presently an educational consultant. He retired in January 2021 as principal of Naparima College, San Fernando. He has served as an educator at the secondary school level for 34 years, 20 years as principal, 5 years at Irie High School, and 15 years at Naparima College. He has served as a part-time lecturer at the School of Education, UWI St. Augustine, for 22 years. Let us welcome Dr. Michael Dowlath.
You better must come one day. Hold up your better must and God and pray. When we say you better must come one day. Hold up your better.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hosein, for that extraordinary introduction. Good evening to our political leader of the United National Congress, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel, to our deputy political leaders, all members of parliament, all distinguished guests, and especially to the people of La Hoqueta Talparo. Give yourself a round of applause. When I came in here this evening, I was warmly greeted, even though I was from South and it's the first time I'm visiting. You know, you could feel the warmth of the people here, and I want to congratulate you on that. So good evening, my fellow citizens and all supporters. I stand before you today with immense gratitude, humility, and a profound sense of purpose. I'm deeply honored to have been chosen as United National Congress candidate for the San Fernando West constituency in the upcoming 2025 general elections. This opportunity is both a privilege and a responsibility, and I'm committed to working tirelessly to serve the people of this great constituency and our beloved nation. First and foremost, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to the esteemed leadership of the UNC, to our political leader. Thank you for placing your confidence in me, your unwavering dedication to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and your tireless advocacy for justice, equality, equity, and progress have inspired so many, including myself, to step forward in service. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar, your vision for a united, prosperous, and thriving Trinidad and Tobago resonates deeply with me. You have demonstrated the courage and wisdom necessary to navigate these challenging times, and I'm honored to be part of your team, a team that shares a collective commitment to rebuilding, restoring, and revitalizing our nation. Thank you, political leader. I also extend my gratitude to the executive and membership of the UNC, whose support has been instrumental in shaping this journey. You have created an environment where leaders can emerge, ideas can flourish, and most importantly, the voices of the people can be heard. Let's congratulate our executive. To the people of San Fernando West, I'm here because of you, your resilience, your strength, and your determination to see a better tomorrow. Those are the things that motivated me to bring back San Fernando to its former glory days. I pledge to listen to you, to stand with you, and to advocate for you in every decision I make. Together, we will work to address the challenges we face, from traffic and parking, healthcare, crime, public health concerns like vagrancy and displaced animals, those deplorable conditions at the San Fernando market. Those people from South, have you visited that market recently? Potholes and traffic congestion. We need a better traffic management plan. And we could start by looking simply at the start time and dismissal time of those inner city primary and secondary schools to ease the traffic congestion at peak times. The closure of the Point-A-Pier refinery 6 years ago is estimated to have affected 50,000 persons and their families, especially those in the fence-line communities of San Fernando West. So many of those small businesses that were operated by decent, law-abiding citizens were forced to close, and their standard of living plummeted. The small caterers and entrepreneurs who catered for the shift workers barbecue vendors, corn soup vendors, doubles and roti vendors, the breakfast caterers. Everybody in the area got a chance to make a decent living then. San Fernando was once a thriving center of commercial activity, and it was shocked economically by the closure of this refinery. And I don't think the people of San Fernando and environs have recovered from that betrayal. But this campaign is not about me, it's about us. Our shared aspirations and our collective resolve to make San Fernando West a beacon of progress and hope. I invite each and every one of you to join me in this journey. Together, we will build a secure future where we can all be proud of our legacy, a future of fairness, opportunity, and prosperity for all, especially our children and grandchildren. Our political leader has articulated many policies for transforming education in Trinidad and Tobago. And you know, education is one of my pet areas. I want to briefly touch on 3 of those areas. The focus on technology in education. Our party plans to integrate computer science and technology, software development into the national curriculum. And if you look at the newspaper today, you see the present government scrambling to try some of those things. Infrastructure development. Our UNC party intends to prioritize school infrastructure development and to provide resources to the underserved. But more importantly, we have to train our teachers, especially in modern teaching techniques, especially with the use of technology and artificial intelligence. For my research in education, excessive paperwork is the greatest hindrance to the joy of teaching. All of these 3 recommendations will help to reduce the burden of excessive paperwork on teachers and restore the joy to teaching in the classroom for teachers, students, and parents. Any parents here? You want happy teachers to teach your children? Yes? Let's hear it for all those teachers who make a difference in this country. And as I conclude, there are 2 areas that I want to highlight. The revamping of the community police system. In my 34 years as an educator, I have found that the community police system, when adequately staffed, has made a proactive support for all our administrators, especially with respect to discipline. And the second recommendation is assigning medical doctors to a school or a group of schools. And amongst other things, you know what this will do? This will help to diagnose those students who have special needs. And therefore, we will capture them earlier, and we will be able to make a difference in their lives and their families. And I want us to go back and look at the mission of the UNC. It starts off with building a knowledge-based society with a globally competitive, technologically driven, diverse economy. So I want to thank you all. May God bless all of you. May God bless the UNC. May God bless our political leader. May God bless Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much.
The better must come one day. Hold up your way to Mass and God and pray. When we say the better must come one day. Hold up your way to Mass and God.
Our next vibrant speaker this afternoon is no other than the young, lovely Vandana Mohit. Please allow me to introduce the former local government candidate for Canupia and the youngest mayor in our nation's history as mayor of Chaguanas. She's a member of parliament for Chaguanas East, who has just been named the returning candidate for 2025 general. She is presently the central coordinator on the national executive of the UNC and shadow minister of Social Development in the House of Representatives. She holds a Master's of Arts in Mass Communications, New Media, Governance and Democracy from the University of Leicestershire. We welcome MP Vandana Mohit.
Hold up your head to mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your head to mass and God and pray.
Thank you. Good evening. And thank you very much for your warm welcome. To our honorable political leader, my UNC family, and especially my constituents of Shagonasis, my heartbeats, my people, I say good evening again and thank you. It would be remiss of me if I do not thank Almighty God. He has always smiled on me from birth to now. Tonight I stand before you with a heart filled with gratitude, a spirit strengthened by your faith in me, and a commitment that is unwavering. I am deeply honored to have been selected once again to serve as your candidate for Chaguanas East in the 2025 general elections. To our esteemed political leader, the Honorable Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, I extend my heartfelt thanks for her trust in me, her visionary leadership, and her relentless drive to make the UNC the party of hope, progress, and the people. To my colleagues, MP Sadam Hosein and Dr. Michael Dowlath, congratulations in advance, we shall win. To my dedicated team from Chaguanas East, to my mom, to my fiancé, to my supporters, and every member of this great party, I say thank you. Your encouragement, your energy, and your belief in the UNC's mission are the fuel that keeps all of us moving forward. This moment is not about me. It is about the people of Chaguanas East. From Enterprise to Montrose, Cunupia to Lanch Park, my purpose and my passion. Together we have weathered the storms, literal storms and political storms, and we will rise to build an even stronger future. As I reflect on my journey, one thing remains clear. My mission has always been rooted in the UNC's principle of people-centered governance. Whether it was fighting for social support for single mothers, securing grants for families, rebuilding after natural disasters, or ensuring every child has access to education, my focus has been on you, the people who make this constituency a beacon of resilience and strength. My friend, the social sector, because it is the beating heart of our communities. Under the PNM, social nets have been weakened, leaving the most vulnerable, our elderly, our differently able, our single mothers struggling to survive. But not under the UNC. Under the leadership, under our leadership and the leadership of the Honorable Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, social services were about dignity and empowerment. We built homes, we created jobs, we expanded grants and lifted people out of poverty. Not with handouts, but with opportunities. I want you to remember that. As we stand on the brink of a new chapter in our nation's history, the UNC is proud to present our vision for a more compassionate, equitable, and prosperous Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM has spent years dismantling our social sector, our social safety net that our people depend on. Families are left scrambling, and we must not forget this. Under UNC government in 2025, the social sector will be revitalized to focus on you, the people. We will expand the social safety nets. We will empower the youth. We will support the elderly and the differently abled. We will strengthen families. We will tackle poverty through opportunity. And we will rebuild trust in the social sector. I say to you, we have done it before and we will do it again. In Parliament, I have fought tirelessly for these principles. Whether it was challenging the PNM's callous budget cuts or exposing their neglect, we fought for you. Outside of the halls of Parliament, I have walked with you, I have talked with you, and stood shoulder to shoulder with you in the face of every challenge. And let me tell you, this fight is not over. Chaguanas East, I want you to hear me loud and clear. We still have work to do. That's why I'm here asking you for another opportunity. We need to ensure that every child gets the opportunities they deserve. They have access to education, social programs, etc. And the UNC is the party with this vision. I want to let you know that I will not allow Chaguanas to be a reduced statistic under the PNM's rule. The constituency is alive with culture, enterprise, and talent, and it deserves leadership that recognizes, nurtures, and celebrates its potential. So tonight, I recommit myself to this fight. I recommit myself to you, the people of Chaguanas. Together we will stand firm against the PNM's failures. Together we will champion the rights of the vulnerable, the workers, the farmers, and the dreamers, the young people. Together we will show the nation what people-centered leadership looks like. To my party, to my leader, and my people, thank you for standing with me. Thank you for believing in the UNC, and thank you for entrusting me once again to be the voice of Chaguanas. Let us march forward with courage and determination. Let us show the PNM that no amount of neglect, no measure of arrogance, and no act of incompetence can break the spirit of Chaguanas. The UNC is the party of the people, and I want you to remember that. We are the party for the people, and we are the party with the people. Together, we will bring hope, we will restore dignity, and build a brighter tomorrow for Trinidad and Tobago. To all my colleagues, to our UNC friends, family, this is our time. This is our fight. And together, we will win. I thank you.
Better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God and pray. When we say better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God.
We can do better than that. Miss Yvonne, Helen, Pandit Param. This is Las Lomas. We can do a lot better than that. Our next speaker is a brilliant young attorney with significant experience in civil law. He is the fearless and fiery Member of Parliament for Barataria San Juan, who has just been named the returning candidate for the 2025 general elections. Shadow Minister for Legal Affairs and Attorney General, a graduate of UWI, Cave Hill, graduate of Hugh Wooden Law School, where he graduated on the Principal Roll of Honor, winning the Justice Wendell Kangaroo Advocacy Award. Let us welcome MP Sadam Hosein.
Better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God and pray. When we say the better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God and pray. Where we say the better must come one day. Hold up your way to mass and God and pray.
Good night, my UNC family. Good night, my UNC family. La Hoqueta Talparo, I am throwing out a challenge to you now. Take La Hoqueta Talparo out of foster care in 2025. Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all, and I urge you all, whenever the election bell is rung, return Vandana Mohit as the next member of parliament for Chaguanas East. And put Dr. Michael Dowlath in the parliament as the member of parliament for San Fernando West. Tonight, you listen to Dr. Dowlath. If you put Dr. Dowlath on one side and you put Dr. Dolly on the other side, who will you trust? Who will you trust with the future of your children? Dolly House business done. The UNC will be the next government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. No more Dolly House business. On Friday, I was asked to subject myself before the screening committee of the United National Congress, chaired by the political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar of Senior Council. And tonight I want to thank the political leader and members of the screening committee and United National Congress for nominating me as the next candidate for the United National Congress to take on the battleground seat of Barataria San Juan. I promise you, members of the United National Congress and my dear constituents of Barataria San Juan, I will ensure that this seat is returned to the folds of United National Congress on election night 2025. I want to thank my constituency executive. I want to thank my staff at my MP's office, and I want to thank especially my constituents for their vote of confidence in me to return as the candidate for Barataria San Juan. For the last 4 years, I fought as hard as I can to ensure that we expose the corruption, the nepotism, and all of the wrongdoings of this Rowley-led PNM administration. But most of all, I fought for my constituents. I fought to ensure that the people of El Socorro South could have gotten a new flood pump. I ensured that on 2nd Street in Barataria, we had 630 meters of pipeline changed out so it benefits 135 residents. We ensured, we protested, we lobbied for the reopening of the Barataria police station. We exposed Minister Dolly with the corruption that took place at the St. George's College. You know, that school, they took $10 million to fix a ceiling, and they had to close it twice after that because the septic tank leaking. That is shameless. That is corruption, and we must remove this Rowley PNM government from office. We must remove them. Through my MP's office, we gave thousands of constituents food support. We did this in opposition, so imagine what we will do when we get into government. We will ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago are taken care of. My history with this party was not a very short history. I served at a very young age as a youth officer for the constituency of Caroni East. At the age 26, the political leader found the confidence in me and appointed me as an opposition senator in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. At age 29, she gave me an opportunity to fight a marginal seat on the East-West corridor. And today I thank the people of Barataria San Juan and United National Congress for giving me that sacred duty and opportunity to serve as your member of parliament. But my brothers and sisters, because of the hard work we have done, I am proud to say that I sit in the 12th parliament as the youngest member of parliament. And I thank you, Madam Political Leader. I thank you for that opportunity. Today, Trinidad and Tobago, we are saddled with a runaway crime situation. Crime is out of hand, and Rowley say, well, he go get rid of Hines next year. We want to get rid of Rowley this year, next year, whenever the date calls. We want to get rid of him one time. Today, on my way here to this meeting, I was looking at the news. Headline, Trinidad Express, attempt to murder teacher. At 4 p.m. today, a teacher's car was riddled, sprayed with bullets at 4 p.m., leaving Mamoral on his way home from school. That is where this Rowley government has taken us. They have taken us to over 4,957 persons dead because they were murdered in this country. Just in the month of August alone, 63 of our citizens were killed. They were murdered. And you, my people, I want you to wake up. And whenever the election bell is rung, get them out of office. Get them out of office. And Rowley is saying, well, Hines gone, but he are really gone. He said Hines gone this election, but he may return if they get back into government. We must not give Rowley the opportunity to get back in government because he will bring back Fitzgerald Hines. We must stop them, and we have one opportunity to stop them. We must riot with our voting finger when we go to the polls in general election 2025. Do not fall for the smoke screen. Rowley is fooling the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, they cannot account for $3 billion that the Auditor General said is missing. Man had to get locked up for that. Man had to get locked up for that. Because you cannot take $3 billion of Trinidad and Tobago's money and tell us you don't know where the money gone. When a UNC government comes into power, we will ensure that is investigated. We will ensure that those perpetrators of all of this corruption throughout Trinidad and Tobago in government, they must and they will be prosecuted because it is time that we hold this Rowley government to account. None of them must escape. None of them must escape. Now I have a list of plans in my hand here for the criminal justice system. But if I go through this tonight, we won't have place to put them. We got to build more jail because man had to get locked up for all of this corruption that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. So my brothers and sisters, I see that the time is almost up. I urge you, come out strong. Rally behind our candidates. The party is organized. We are strong. We are united. And we will go into general election 2025 stronger than ever and retain Kamla Persad-Bissessar as the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you very much.
MP Sadam says man had to get locked up. I want to say after my brother from Arima, the revenge of the poor is coming. I want you all to hear that again. The revenge of the poor is coming, La Hoqueta Talparo. Trinidad and Tobago, the revenge of the poor is coming. At this time, it's my profound pleasure to introduce to you a lady that I would have met in 2016. And from the moment she jumped out of her vehicle to this present day, she has been running on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Senator Jearlean John has a track record of entrepreneurial and management excellence for over 25 years. She's a dynamic firebrand senator representing our great party in the upper house and fought for La Hoqueta Talparo in the 2020 general election. She has served as DPL since 2017. Jearlean John is a chartered accountant, certified professional accountant, and certified management accountant. She holds a master's in business administration. You all call her Senator John. We call her Ms. J. I welcome to the stage this afternoon the Honorable Senator Jearlean John.
We refuse to be what you wanted us to be. We are what we are. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't know, you can't educate us or no equal opportunity. Talking about my freedom, people free
Thank you, thank you. Rock and come in. We're going to rebel. We are going to rebel. Honorable political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, welcome to the constituency of La Hoqueta Talparo. LHT, are you in the house? Thank you, Dr. Bissessar, for accompanying our beautiful and wonderful honorable political leader, members of parliament, my fellow speakers. I'll come to our candidate shortly, but I really want to thank Mrs. Alisha Mohammed, Pakeerah, for coming. Thank you, a resident from the constituency, and our dear Dr. Varuna Bandhoo. La Hoqueta, Las Lomas, you know if you turn out on election day, as you have turned out this evening, we are going to call LHT first on the day of the general election, first. And we will know, as long as LHT is won, we, the United National Congress, would have formed the government. Thank you, Councillor Balmati, representative for the electoral district of Las Lomas San Rafael. Thank you for your kind heart, your steadfastness, your generosity, your unswerving loyalty to the UNC and your love for the people of San Rafael, Las Lomas. Thank you so much. And I can tell you, if Councillor Bal invites you to a prayers at her home, don't think, just go. She's one of the best cooks in this community, best cooks. Thank you for coming out to the United National Congress Monday night report in the constituency of La Hoqueta Talparo. Congratulations to the first 3 UNC candidates announced yesterday, who will represent the UNC in general election 2025. Dr. Michael Dowlath, who just spoke, I immediately got a text from someone I know living in Atlanta. She said, Weatherman was hiding all the time. We need that man in Parliament. And San Fernando West, I know, will do the right thing. And with that, Dr. Dowlath will indeed be in Parliament come 2025. Current MP and next MP for Chaguanas East, one in whom Chaguanas East is well pleased. So much so they call her the home girl. Home girl, rock and come in. I know that you are going to return Chaguanas East to the UNC's column in 2025. Current MP and next MP for Barataria San Juan, the brilliant and combative, bold-faced and fearless young attorney at law, MP Sadam Hosein. And to our MPs, councillors, chairmen, beautiful, beautiful, loyal UNC faithful, the UNC has come this far only because of you. You are simply the best. You are resilient. When you stand, you stand. You are fearless UNC. You are kind and you exemplify patriotism. And you stand in the gap for your fellow citizens during flood, family conflict, fire, COVID. Trinidad and Tobago can lean on you. And for that, Trinidad and Tobago owes you a debt of gratitude. And you should stand proud and UNC strong. Thank you for coming out this evening in Las Lomas. You came from Monte Nuevo. You came from Talparo. How are you quiet so, LHT? What is going on here? You came from Tudds Road. You came from Tamana. Waterfield, you are here. Jacob Hill, Brazil, La Hoqueta, and the wonderful, wonderful LHT. Thank you so much. UNC, as we moved into general election 2025, speaker after speaker this evening have reminded us that what we are fighting for. And Arima is in the house. Brother John and his team is here. They are here. And the stakes are so high. And the honorable political leader also asserts the fight is for and on behalf of the children who represent the future of Trinidad and Tobago. UNC elections have consequences. And I cannot see another government, anybody else, certainly not Kamla Persad-Bissessar, tolerating 5,000 murders since coming into office. This government has. Except a government who has callously embraced a policy of who they're dead. A government who has allowed crime to run rampant, unchecked, murderously in every community. And even in this beautiful and peaceful community of Las Lomas, you know you're not accepted. UNC, the biggest problem facing us as a nation today, amongst all the problems the PNM government has visited upon us, is crime. Every road leads back to a government who enables, a government who creates the facilitatory environment to ensure crime and criminality is the biggest, most viable activity in Trinidad and Tobago today. Crime, UNC, is everything everywhere, all at once. And that is why, from a UNC political platform tonight in Las Lomas, I want to thank the PNM women of Laventille West for causing Hines not to be back in Parliament. Whether they win, they ever win, right, when they lose in 2025. We must thank them. Because they sent him packing, because they said, we ain't taking Rowley Crapo, wrap up in nobody's say, you be gone. And we're not taking that, all right? And we must thank them. I always maintain that there's more that unites us than what divides us. And when something right, it's right. And when somebody do a good thing, it matters not if they are PNM or UNC. We are all citizens of this country. And tonight we congratulate them for telling us that telling Hines he must go. And telling Rowley Hines must go. And I'm sure they're planning something for Rowley because I know he will go next. All right, because they know don't go. Because everywhere you go, you are walking this country. And you know what people are telling us. PNM, UNC, everybody, Jews and Gentiles, they are saying Rowley must go. We can't take 5 more years of Rowley. And I tell the PNM people who are saying, in this cycle we cannot vote for our own party. I tell them, in the house of the rising sun, there are many mansions. And if it were not so, I would have told you. I have told them that they knew that their lives is better between 2010 and 2015, and they agree with me. And I say, so it means that a vote for the UNC doesn't mean that you are UNC. A vote for Kamla means you are UNC. It just means that you are patriotic. All right? You need to do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. Everywhere I go, these conversations are taking place, and you know that you are hearing them because yellow is our code. But the word on the ground is we fed up. We fed up. We fed up. We cannot take any more of Rowley. We cannot take 5 more years because the Rowley PNM government has destroyed our economy, our peace of mind, our way of life. Businessmen who behaved as if politics was beneath them. It did not affect them. And for 10 years, they were silent as Elon Musk electric cars. They now want to tell us. They want to disturb my peace. Even just now, I'm trying to get ready to come in here. One calling me, say, oh God, Jearlean, when I come back from America, I want us to talk about Forex. You know what is happening? What they are telling us? They have said their parents, for generations, they have taken to build businesses. They said, one of them told me, my business is a 3rd generation business. And Rowley has destroyed it. And he'll continue to destroy it. Rowley has to go. That is what is going on in the business community. And Rowley knows it. That is why he was trying to install a young man there by fiat, by dictate. I feel Rowley watch White House and feel his Buckingham Palace, and he's the queen. And he could just take power, and he could just hand over power. You understand? Rowley getting confused. You know, he sit down there and just saying, you know we're the leader, ignoring the PNM Constitution. But then PNM themselves, when Rowley decided that to go to President's house and take away a merit list and tamper with the Constitution, it was okay. When he got 6-6 in Tobago, and he should have sit down like a big brother with Farley Tobago, because the Tobagonians had spoken, what did he do? He ran to the Parliament as if he's the Constitution, and he added 3 more seats. And it was 12 seats at the time, 12 electoral districts. Rowley just added 3. Why? Just because he could. It had no basis in law, the Constitution, according to his friend Martin Daly. But he did it because that is who he is. And what happened? God don't sleep. Our leader say he does only wear pajama. He get wiped out in Tobago. And you know what is happening? The accent you're hearing, not Nigerian. It's a Jamaican, it's Tobagonian. You know me, Tobagonian people telling me, you know what Tobago telling me? The East is gone. Because I'm from the East. And wise men and women live in the East. You understand? Right? And they say they're working now on the West. All right? So you don't worry. You know, people don't like cheats. And that is what he did, because at the time, we didn't hear them PNM people talking, because them would have stuck patriotism. For them, it didn't matter that he trampling on our Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. But when he touched the PNM Constitution, all of them jump out and talking about not so fast. So you see him there, they tie him up like a Tobago blue crab. He can't move. I don't know how he go into the election, because he know we're coming, you know, and he decide, I ain't taking this one. I'm going to put my avatar. But you know, before, a lot of people used to say, suppose they put somebody younger and whatever. Let me tell you something. There is only one man in this country more hated than Keith Christopher Rowley, and his name is Stuart Young. More hated. So they could jump up They could jump down, they could wind to the right, they could wind to the left. Their cocktail booked. Nobody don't want them. Right? So citizens, at this time, we all stand behind the red, white, and black because representative of every citizen in this deep crisis, affected by crime, by murders, by rapes, home invasions, citizens distressed by the lack of services and infrastructures, citizens affected by the lack of foreign exchange, citizens affected by no jobs, affected by violence and bullying in schools, affected by the high price of basic food items, affected by the PNM government turning a blind eye to unscrupulous price gouging, all while certain businesses declare supernormal profits. That is their friend. That is who get in all the forex, because there's a plan that they have. They'll close down all the small and medium-sized businesses, and they're consolidating power and business and the economy into a few hands. But all that got changed. I don't want to let out the secret, but let me tell you, hold the fort, because Kamla Persad-Bissessar is coming. You understand? And you know the UNC is a party for the small man. The UNC is a party for the poor and for the vulnerable and for the weak. So people are affected by Imbert's bold faith 4%, and they are horrified by Rowley's selfish money grab. So business people calling to say we cannot take 5 more years of Rowley. They say the PNM does not have the resolve to get us back to safety and security. They have no plan, no clue on how to expand the economy, no ideas on how to grow and attract foreign direct investment. Everyone who hoped, wished, and prayed that with every new lie, every new distraction, profane outburst, trip to wind down in Venezuela, joyride to Washington, hoped against hope that the Prime Minister and his accompanying young salesman who marketed themselves as the world's greatest salesmen, almost 2 years of traveling up and down first class, they have achieved nothing. Not one thing. And I'm not saying that because I'm a member of the UNC. Is it true? Everyone knows it. That is why we are in this mess today. They ain't bring back nothing. Then asking for the population to band their belly while he walk away with his bag. For what? When they have achieved nothing in almost 10 years. Nothing. The salesman of what? All they have sold us is a pack of bull. Leader, I didn't say it. I didn't say it, I said it. So, bull. So nobody, LHT, all you slow tonight. Is it because the leader is here? So nobody on any fence for general election 25. Everybody waiting to vote them out. You just have to do your part here in Las Lomas. And of course, general election is close. But for the Prime Minister, the party card done. He found himself in Barbados last weekend. And you know we have nothing but love and deep admiration for the Prime Minister of Barbados, Madame Mia Mottley. But he went over there last weekend, reportedly to meet with some delegation led by the U.S. Democratic leader in the House of Representatives, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and ranking member Maxine Waters. No, folks. Now, this Hollywood production has gone too far. That is to try to fool us again that something happening. You understand? So because you tell me, I mean, all of us have TV, we have cable, all of us knew what the US election was last month. You understand? And the government is about to change come January. So when you are meeting with Jeffries and Waters, they are Democrats, right? The US go on the principle of what they call a co-equal branch of governance. So you have the White House, you have the Senate, you have the Congress. Right now, the Democrats hold the White House and the Senate. But with the results of the last election, it appears as if the Republicans are going to hold the White House, the Senate, and the Congress. So it means instead of Rowley playing the fool in Barbados, he should be going to Florida to stand up outside a Trump house in Mar-a-Lago with a sign, begging. You understand? What are you doing meeting the people who gone? They are gone. They are in opposition. So I don't know what is wrong with this man. Who this fella feel he could fool? When he could play golf with Trump if Trump will have him. Oh my God. So, UNC, thank you very much. So, UNC, in case you need to be reminded, what are we fighting for? It is for a leader who can stop the mess. One who will only think about how to bring relief, fairness, and equity to citizens. Trinidad and Tobago is exhausted by the nonsense, and we are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Under the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar Prime Ministership, no one was hungry, no one was jobless. The HDC was giving out 100 keys a week. You know what they're doing now? They give you an envelope, and then when the function finishes, they take it back. It had nothing in the envelope. A mess, because they're building nothing. Not too far from here, they gave a contractor who never built an outhouse. He had to build a post in the ground. They gave him a contract. That is how they're reckless. These people are reckless. Gave him a contract to build 100 houses. Where do you think the house has no beam, it has no foundation. And on top of that, now you have a remedy in your contract. You can call upon this man when he had to post a performance bond when in advance of starting the contract. You know these people even have a performance bond for this gentleman. These people are reckless. They are corrupt, and they're openly corrupt. So these are things where my good colleague, MP Sadam, he has been talking about this list he has. I hope he had them 100 houses on the list. Because we need to know what went on there. Because in the process, you know, where the public servants should be overseen, they just allow that to go by the way. Who the person, who are the seniors giving them the instruction to get to this? Today I saw the Auditor General saying $850 million can be accounted for in HEC. No, sorry, in PTSC. When they got so rich, PTSC is a poor company. How they can find $850 million? Something has to be, it means nobody is following any rules, any process. It just means the whole system has collapsed. And the only person to fix that is the person who fixed it before, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. So, very briefly, now what is happening now? Yesterday I was reading in The Guardian that they are not, well, we know that, they are not only killing mothers, they're also killing children. You know, and of course, you know, the rate of detection is abysmally poor. So we have a crisis. You know, all these women, then one of the crime of choice now is sexual assault of our young children. I mean, you want to know what is happening since Rowley came into government. It means he is an absentee prime minister. He has no empathy. And as he going out the door, he do the money grab. He grab his bag to go. Right, so he makes sure that he okay. He doesn't care the children under his care because the prime ministership, they are responsible for child protection. You would have thought that this gentleman would have had that in his gaze. You know what our leader did? On the first day she went into her cabinet, there was a note sitting there. Why? For the children. For the children. She's happy to report, always will remind us, that was the first note that was approved by her cabinet. A note to help the children that no child should be left behind and no child should go without health care if their parents doesn't have the means. And she has said she is going to improve and strengthen that note, not if, when she gets back into government. So, UNC, that is why we fight. I speak of these horrors, and I'm sorry I didn't get to go into it because no one on the government side does. They have normalized murders, bullying, and brutality. That is why we fight, because we know we are better than this. Do not accept the corruption and incompetence they want to present as governance. The Auditor General gave a disclaimer of opinion. And for those of you who are accountants, you know what that means. It means when that is the last. Auditors don't like to give that, you know. Is the last thing they will do, that disclaimer of opinion. It means you cannot account. And that Auditor General, that is like when you give that, it's like a judge, you break your pen. You understand? And what did they do? Instead of going and saying no more, they decided to bully her, to sue her, to say we're going to take out some writ of mandamus. Well, me and no lawyers had to go and see what it meant. You understand? But what's serious business? That is how these people bold-face, and want to terrorize the citizens of this country. So that is why we rebel and will not stop. And as the great Harriet Tubman said, she was a great freedom fighter. She fought for the people. If you hear the dogs, keep going. If you see the torches in the woods, keep going. If they're shouting after you, keep going. Don't ever stop. Keep going if you want a taste of freedom. Keep going, UNC. And I know that you are resilient. You are going to keep going until that last vote is counted. Keep going, UNC. Let's keep going, because they call us all kind of names. But we know weeping may endure for the night. But what? Joy cometh in the morning. In the morning. So let's keep hope alive. And I want to thank you so much. Thank you, LHT. Thank you, Honorable Political Leader. Thank you, UNC. Thanks so much.
Started on the wine press much too long. Rebel, rebel, as we've been trying to.
Surely you can do better than that. This is the constituency that will take us into government. We are confident. Let us hear you. Can the driver of TDA 1693 please attend to your vehicle? You are blocking the driveway. Let us stand for the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Leader of the Opposition and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do.
Good evening, everyone. Las Lomas, you can do better than that. Good evening. Thank you for this wonderful atmosphere here. I don't remember last I came to Las Lomas, but this will not be the last time. So thank you for your welcome and thank you for your greetings. And to everyone who's here with us, other MPs, senators, councillors, aldermen, viewers, many are joining us. Somebody just asked us what is the link. Because in Canada, they want to look on, they want to watch what's happening here tonight. So all distinguished members of the UNC family, allow me one moment to pay tribute to some wonderful people from the constituency of La Hoqueta, Talparo. Councillor Ryan Rampersad is out of the country, I believe. Mr. Manmohan Gosain. Yeah. Ms. Dara Seals Nelson. Mrs. Gemma Edwards. Councillor Balmati Gosain, Mr. Lima Ali. Do you know these people? They're in your constituency. Mr. Dio Bandhoo, Mr. Paul Bandhoo, Mrs. Barbara Ragbear, Mr. Kenny McIntyre, and his wife looks like the queen tonight. Welcome again. Ms. Maria Julian, Mr. Nanvit Budai, Councillors John Lizama, and others who are here. Again, I say good evening. And I'm very happy to be with you here in Las Lomas, in the constituency of La Hoqueta Talparo. And tonight, let us pay tribute to and hail out the first three winning candidates for the United National Congress. I'm doing this in alphabetic order. So for Barataria San Juan is MP Sadam. For Chaguanas East, the one and only Vandana. And first time on the hustings, the one and only Dr. Michael Dowlath for San Fernando West. So we've only just begun on the road to victory. We will continue our screaming, streaming, screening, and for some people it's like about screaming as well. But when we finished that exercise, we left the headquarters on Friday night. What time was it? Barry, what time? About 3 a.m. on Friday, you know. This screening exercise is no joke. Before we got there, we did screenings by doing due diligence, going through the forms, the nomination forms, some persons, double-checking, Googling, really researching on persons who would come to us in person. So first we had to check out everything that they wrote on that form to make sure they were telling the truth. Or make sure that maybe by mistake something got in that was not true. So you have to do that. You just can't come and bring people in front of you and spend a half hour and say goodbye. No, no, no. It's a very transparent process. And as I say, we also interview all the executives for each constituency, and then we do the in-person. And that was the exercise on last Friday, and we will continue. Now, Sadam told us about some man have to get locked up. I want to tell you some women will have to get locked up too. Because there's so much that is wrong and so much that is happening. And tonight I will be a little more serious with you. Because whilst we acknowledge the $3 billion they cannot account for, while they cannot find the monies JJ spoke about tonight, that was the PTSD money, and much other. Tonight I'm going to give you another story of millions of dollars that cannot be accounted for. So bear with me, take me step by step, go with me and stay with me. We still have the love, we still have the jokes, but this is a very, very serious matter. And some more man and woman will have to get locked up for these millions missing. So let me tell you about Tiffin at the new terminal construction at the Robinson Airport in Tobago. The PNM government put out back for tender, re-tendered the construction of the new terminal and works at the Robinson Airport in Tobago on July 11, 2019. So they had it all before, pull it back. You know about these things, Mr. Warner, you know about these things. They pull it back. And then they went back out, say, okay, everybody apply. Re-tendered July 11, 2019 to select the relevant contractors. The construction tender program was made up of, comprised the following projects. Preparatory work, including engineering studies. B, design, construction, and commissioning as follows. Package 1, the new terminal building. Package 2, associated airside infrastructure, including apron, taxiway, aircraft parking, and perimeter fence. Package 3, associated landside infrastructure, including a car park and access to the new terminal building. Package 4, outfitting of the new building, including procurement, purchase, and installation of terminal building equipment. That was in 2019, re-tendered. On October 31, 2019, the government agreed to the award of contracts by NIDCO. Who is the chairman of NIDCO? Anybody remembers? The husband of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. His name is? No. They wave it back and tell me that's not true. No. Okay. Stay on NIDCO, Jack. Help me. So, Herbert George. Thank you for the correction. So, our George is our George, but this one is Herbert George. So, on October 31, 2019, they agreed to the award of contracts by NIDCO. 2-1, China Railway Construction Caribbean Company Limited, in the total sum of TT dollars 912.0 plus millions, 912.031. Well, these are billions, so I'm reading numbers. My maths do always maths. So here we are. TT dollars 912.031.072.00. That is equivalent of US 134, 122, 216.52. Now this was for China really, for the main works in the construction of the new terminal and associated works at the airport in Tobago and the upgrade works at the existing terminal. Another company was awarded, and that company name of it is CEP Limited. They got the contract sum of TT dollars 27,675.075.94 for oversight and supervision services. Plenty of money we talk about here, you know. That is the second company. Then they awarded management fees to NIDCO of the sum of TT 47,104,008.70. So NIDCO was to do the project management, and they got the fees. And then they spent $300 million or allocated for land acquisition consultancy via a TT 300 million Scotiabank loan. The total project cost was approximately then, when we add up all of these, $1.286 billion. Remember this as we go down the pathway. $1.286 billion or TT 1.286 billion dollars, okay? From the start, the project was massively overpriced. In January 2020, so we started from 19 coming down to 2020, China Railway was expected to complete the main works over 24 months. That's 2 years. 2 years. With a 4 months for detailed design and 20 months for construction. The completion was supposed to be by the end of 2022. Where are we now? 2024. The projected completion for 2022. Okay? The project has experienced many delays, which has resulted in multi-million-dollar claims. We are now, as we say, December 2024. The project is 2 years behind time. And then when we look at the Guardian report, November 8, 2024, just a short while ago, the headline was, Tobago Airport set to open earlier than expected. 2 years later, you're now boasting you're going to open it earlier than expected. You're already 2 years behind time. Maybe it's only Trinidad Guardian can have that headline for a project that is 2 years behind time. The article, and I quote from it, during a visit to the construction site yesterday, Guardian media observed the larger of the two buildings was approximately 95% complete, with workers seen handling smaller tasks on the nearly completed buildings. I'm still quoting. According to George, that's the real George, the man in charge, the project remains on budget and has faced no major setbacks. Where you living, man? You're 2 years behind time. That is lying. No major setbacks. According to him, we are working towards having it done, having it completed no later than the first quarter of this year, of 2025, because they really want to open this airport before the election. So he's now saying we're on track now to open it in first quarter 2025. I continue to quote from the article. In September, yes, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will open it. Thank you. With your help, we shall be there. In September now, the Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister, gave Parliament an update about this project. He noted that payments to date to the main contractor was a total of US $65 million. And that not include the $300 million that was the land acquisition. So the cost of approximately $300 million more. Moving along, at the contract signing ceremony for the expansion project in January 2020, Finance Minister, you remember that guy? Can't tell us where $3 billion gone. Can't show it to the Auditor General, to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is what he said. He said a total of $1.2 billion will be spent on the construction of the new airport terminal in Tobago, along with an upgrade of existing facilities and the acquisition of land in Crown Point to complete the expansion. He said the new terminal was expected to cost $870 million, while $36 million would be spent to upgrade the existing terminal. He said the government allocated $300 million to acquire 53 acres of land from between Storbay, Local Road, and the airport perimeter fence in the Bon Accord area. So let's look yearly now what they've spent so far towards contract packages. In 2021, they spent TT 193.37 million. 2022, 59.65 million. 2023, 86.84 million. 2024, 363.39 million, thus far as at September. Total so far, $702.25 million spent. Rowley said they paid the contractors $65 million US, which was TT 442 million. But until September of this year, they had actually paid $702.5 million, way above the cost overruns. Then we have the land acquisition and consultancy costs, $251.76 million. Total to be spent to date on these packages, including land acquisition, $954 million. Follow me, stay with me. you will see where your money is going and find out you still don't have that airport terminal building. China Railway contract is a design-build contract, and therefore it is fully responsible for designing, and that must receive non-objections from the client's representative, which is NITCO, before they implement. The design non-objection by NITCO took a very long time due to concerns raised about the applicable building code. As a result, NITCO terminated its oversight and supervision consultant, CP Limited, in July 22. And they attempted to address the design issues. What did they do? They hired somebody else to pay more money to, further reorganizing the project management January 23. Mott MacDonald, based in London, is one of the world's most experienced aviation consulting firms. Finance Ministry engaged Mott and asked them to please do the due diligence, do the technical due diligence on the project. You can't have an airport collapsing, you can't have people walking and collapsing, plane bouncing on each other. Due diligence to identify the issues and to recommend a suitable way forward. I happen to have had somebody put it in my mailbox, a copy of the Mott report, Mott MacDonald report. On the screen, I'll ask Evan to put up page 12 of that report, the MacDonald report. And that page 12 gives a diagnosis of the project that was done in December 2023. Let's read what it says, and I quote, current state. As of December 2023, when the prelim assessment was carried out, the project had experienced a cost overrun by 26% of the original contract price, and the delay of project completion date by 131% delay due to original contracted time. On the basis of the information received, we conducted further data analysis. And this is a Mott reporter, not Kamla, not one of us here. This is a Mott report, one of the world-renowned companies in this field. So they said they conducted further data analysis to identify issues which have harmed the project. It continues, in summary, 3 main issues emerge as the most significant factors impacting the project's progress. Lack of balance between control and risk allocation, coupled with deficient risk management by all parties. These issues point to a lack of experience in terms of managing turnkey contracts and almost non-existent previous airport construction and commissioning experience. Now, this is a firm that the Raleigh government hired people. And they're telling us that they had hired people who have no experience in airport construction to do the job. This is what a Mott report, Mott MacDonald is telling us. And they want to talk about Pakeerah Airport. Hey, by the way, last time I spoke to you about airport and trips, I told the Prime Minister has traveled and stayed out of Trinidad and Tobago for 370-something days. We have updated that. It is now reading at 407 days out of the country. 407 days out of the country. And that is what? More than a year. And so when they come to you promising, whoever comes promising to you, remember this. What they could not do in 9 years, they cannot do in the 9 weeks before the general elections go. So don't get chained up and don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. So Mott MacDonald is saying they hired people with no experience in airport construction. Secondly, Mott MacDonald is telling us lack of proper contract incentives to achieve objectives. These issues point to a deficient drafting of the contractor's structure and the failure to consider the main objectives of the project. Third part of the diagnosis, I continue to quote, claims resolution, amongst others. Structural design. It points to lack of effective program management, project management, impacting the past and weighing heavily on the way forward. What does this mean? I still quote, what they've just said means NITCO has failed to manage the project properly. Other issues that they raise for us. A, lack of continuity of project roles, introducing different resolution criteria, responsibility, and liability. And B, reported inconsistencies, conspiring against decision-making. Again, Mott MacDonald received 5 different programs during December 23 and January 2024. So it was a total chaos and confusion. This point means that no one really knew what was going on the side. Mott further identifies C, program inconsistencies, and D, long lead procurement schedule. So this is Mott MacDonald report. It is showing that since 2023, Rowley's government and Herbert George and NIDCO have been covering up the mess that this project is in, and they have been lying to the country. Remember, I just told you for this month of November when they said, near at end, coming soon, coming soon. The only thing coming soon, Mr. Rowley, is the general election, and you go in soon. Rowley must go. You must go. You must go. And here we are again. Mott MacDonald Limited made some recommendations for government, including hiring an international company with experience to remove NIDCO and the government from the blame for the mess. Now, they've been lying from the inception of this project. And I want you to remember the late Mr. Manning, what he told the country. Do you remember? Show me a liar, and I will show you a thief. They've been lying, and they've been lying. Can we put up the slide, please, Kevin? The Mott MacDonald recommendation slide here, and I quote, look at recommendation B, which says, although we propose that NIDCO is retained as owner, we suggest that NIDCO is removed from the firing line and that total responsibility and control over project delivery is vested in the type of company described under point A, which is to find a company with the expertise and experience. So Mott MacDonald got the Minister of Finance to engage the services of somebody who called Gleeds International Limited, another company, Gleeds International Limited, to provide program management services for the US 2.4 million or TT 16.8 million. I have the Gleeds schedule as well, their report submitted to NEDCO in my possession, and we can show you that report of Gleeds. These are the relevant parts for the moment. Quote, following a recent discussion, there appears to be some confusion within the ministry regarding the project's completion dates. As such, the Minister of Finance has sought clarity on the project schedule. Further, when looking at the integrated schedule that combines schedules from Airports Authority and China Railway, it currently shows a finalization of commissioning activities as the 23rd of June 2025. Coming soon. Coming soon, 2 years now. Gone now to 23rd June 2025. That is based on current information submitted by China Railway and the Airports Authority. I continue to quote from the Gleeds report. Although we appreciate that there is a want to have a soft opening of the airport early in 2025, our preference would be to wait until the completion of the contractor's commissioning, testing and training period, which has now been shown as March 31, 2025. They continue, Gleeds, and I quote, however, what is not shown from the Airports Authority schedule is when operations will transfer from the existing terminal to the new terminal. The current date for the first flight is also not shown. However, we would expect this to be shortly after finalization of completion activities, 23rd June 2025. So government is trying to rush the opening of that terminal without adequate testing and commissioning of the equipment. I can tell you that they will not make the deadline to open the terminal next year. Do you know why? They wouldn't make it. They'll just keep promising and kicking the can down the road. They will not. And this is why. China Railway has now informed the Ministry of Finance that it's experiencing severe cash flows due to increased costs and pending claims. And if these are not immediately addressed, will cause further delays in completing the project. The Minister of Finance proposed that all payments for variations categorized as approved, instructed, and anticipated, totaling approximately US 14.2 million or TT 96.56 million, be paid to China Railway. So they paid China Railway 96.5 million for variance. What happened? The price went up. Doesn't end there. Greece also projected approximately US 4 million or TT 27 million for project risks. So what happened? Price going up again. Stay with me. We'll get there. China Railway also submitted a claims assessment report. They submitted 29 claims as on May 17, 2024, with a risk exposure of about 204 million TT dollars, arising from a combination of delay cost and other costs. So what happened? The price went up again by $204 million. But when you add VAT to that, it now comes up to $229.5 million, price going up again. The Finance Ministry was advised that based on NITCO's assessment, they can advance to China Railway the sum of $102 million on account of consolidated claims as requested. So government has paid TT 102 million out of owing monies of 229.5 million so far. In July 2023, NITCO awarded another company, Acuitas Caribbean Facilities Management Company, a contract to provide FIDIC, engineer employers, representatives, construction supervisor, for what? $11.5 million, to replace a former company that hired the CP Limited. What happened? Price going up again. Just like your food bill going up in the grocery, every day. Just like your electricity rates will go up, should they win? That's like, just like your water rates will go up, they are just about up, while they take a big back pay and a big salary increase. I was told that it fired the SEP company, CP, because SEP was not rubber stamping the approvals on testing because the work was failing to meet specifications. They were not rubber stamping. So instead of doing the work properly, NITCO turned around and fired CP Limited because CP wasn't turning a blind eye to the poor quality work. In May this year, 24, NITCO extended the service of his airport technical advisor, Zabir, at a total cost of US $776 million plus, or TT over $5 million for the period August 1, 22, March 31, 2024, and April 1, 24 to December 25. What happened? The price went up again. Concerning land acquisitions, NITCO engaged the services of ACQ and Associates and was further granted extension to a total cost of 22.6 million TT and the outstanding payments of about TT 1.8 million, which is over the approved budget. And guess what happened? The price went up again. NITCO has been paid a total of 45 million TT dollars in management fees, but due to delay with completion of the project, a lump sum payment of 10 million to NITCO under extension of time was given. Guess what? The price went up again. If there's one thing we want to remember tonight from all these facts and details, is the price kept going up over and over and over again. Who's going to pay that? You. The taxpayers will have to pay that. They're not paying that from the $1 million back pay and salary increase. That has come out of your pocket. So when we add up all these cost overruns on this project, let's take it. The claims assessment from China Railway, delay days, 1,127 delay days. Delay costs, 118,312,488.95 TT millions of dollars. Other costs, another $85 million. Total costs without VAT, 204.2 million, and then with the VAT, 229.7 million. Greece International is not finished yet. TT 16.8 million. Undetermined risks to be assessed, TT 34 million. Approved instructed anticipated variations, 96 million. Continuing Acuitas, TT 11.5 million. Zabir 2005 SL, TT 5.2 million. ACQ, TT 27.2 million. NITCO, TT 10 million. Total overruns thus far is $431 million. $431 million. And it's not over yet. It's not finished yet because they're still there. It's not over yet. The total estimated cost of this project was $1.2 billion. But because of all these cost overruns thus far, they are $431.16 million over budget. The project, from being a cost of 1.28 billion TT, has now escalated to a new cost of 1.7 billion TT dollars. 1.7. And look at that building. How does that cost that amount of money? Anybody see the building they're putting up in Tobago? Anybody went to Tobago recently? Have you seen the building? It's up on the screen. It's up on the screen. Take a look. How that cost that kind of money? $1.7 billion. It is less than half the size of Trin City Mall. Yes. Half. $1.7 billion. But remember just last month, Chairman of NITCO, Herbert George, he told The Guardian, and you could put it up again, according to George, the project remains on budget and has faced no major setbacks. So they're lying to you, they're lying to the country, and according to Mr. Manning, show me a liar, I'll show you a thief. So, Mr. Rowley and Mr. George have questions to answer. Why are they lying to the country about this project, saying it's on budget, when there are almost $500 million in cost overruns, and it's not finished? In addition to the main works, the design of the new terminal must be in accordance with minimum design specs detailed in the IATA report, Development Reference Manual 10th edition, optimum level, and must be able to achieve LEED, LEED certification. The project has multiple issues to meet the design specs in this new building. Associated airside infrastructure, including the apron, the taxiway, the aircraft parking. Currently, they cannot get the terminal building up to specs and meet the building codes. I am told that rubber stamping of documentation is going on without proper testing. The work on the apron, taxiway, and aircraft parking areas has not met the design specs because of poor quality aggregates and poor monitoring and testing during the placement of the materials. They will spend over TT $1.7 billion on an airport terminal extension that cannot meet building codes and testing specs. Anyone who rubber stamps documents without proper testing will find themselves before the courthouse to get their bail copybook stamped. Anyone who's rubber stamping, this is too serious a matter. Too serious a matter. It's an airport, an international airport. They'll have to bring in their bail copybook and get it stamped. Because we will not leave these things alone. We will not. I give you that assurance, when you place us back in office, we will track down every cent of taxpayers' money. This government, as I said at the start, cannot account for $3 billion. Was caught by the Auditor General. Now you have another $500 million to account for. This terminal scandal is the biggest theft in the history of this country. This government is thieving all this money and they're still taking pay rise. As the saying goes, I come back, show me a liar, and I'll show you a thief. He lied about not closing down Petrotron, remember? He lied about not introducing property tax, you all remember that? He lied about Emailgate. He lied about going to the president's house to take the police service, the list. Ms. John spoke about it earlier. He lied last week. This man stood in front of the whole nation on a national TV talking about the pay rise from the SRC. And when they asked him, but didn't you tell the country, tighten your belt? He said, he never said that, so he lied about that too. He lied about his own party's internal elections. Now he's lied about the airport in Tobago. Show me a liar, I'll show you a thief. So my friends, I've taken some time with you to go through this, so I want you to understand it. Let's see how they will answer us to where all these billions of dollars have gone. Let's see, they will have to answer. Can't come and just mamagaya us and chain us up and PNM winning and everybody else lose. And I think one of the chairpersons tonight made an excellent point when she said, don't take chain up from no small party. Don't take chain up, what she call them, pop-up parties. Is that the word you use? pop parties just popping out in the open, coming to ask for your vote when they can never form a government. Never has a third small party even won an election, far less won a seat, far less to come to form government. They have one purpose and one purpose only, which is allow the PNM to slip through by splitting our votes. Don't get chained up, I beg of you. Do not get chained up by these pop-up parties. Remember, there's only one party is going to win this election, and that is the United National Congress. Now, I've been speaking about the deportation of the illegal Venezuelans, yes? I want to repeat it because there are some people who they're misrepresenting what we mean and how we've said it. We have always called for the state, the government, to implement a clear migrant policy, but they have done no such thing. There are reports of violent crimes being committed daily by illegal Venezs against our citizens and against their own citizens as well. Yes? And these criminal migrants are also committing crimes against legally registered, hard-working migrants. We already have a severe problem with local gangs. We don't need migrants committing crimes here. Look at the sampling of stories in the media on crime. From my own constituency, Mr. Winston Thomas, a 69-year-old pensioner, resident in Superior. He was found dead in his car along the Sir Solomon Hotel Highway. He was violently attacked by Spanish-speaking intruders in his home, way down in my constituency where I find my Solomon Hotel. Beaten, robbed, kidnapped, and murdered. Look at the story. Look at the Express story with his photo. Can you see his photo up on the screen? Yes. A 69-year-old pensioner, beaten, robbed, kidnapped, stabbed in the head, murdered. And still there are lunatics and cowards amongst us, political simps, attacking me for my statements because they were only concerned with politically correct things to say. Is it political correct thing to say? Look, if you commit a crime and you're illegally here, we will send you back home. We will send you back home. And when I made that statement, they want to attack me and say I'm playing Trump. They say Kamla is not Donald Trump, but thank God I'm not Donald Trump. But you have to do right thing when it's the right thing to do. And therefore, if they're here illegally and you commit a crime, go back home, stand your ground and send them home, send them home. And then they say it's a Trump policy. It has always been the policy of the United States. Regardless of which president was in power, they will send you back home when you commit crimes in their country. That has been happening. I remember I was Prime Minister, Jack may remembers national security. They would send us a list of the deportees of TNT persons who committed crimes up there and say, get back home, go home, don't stay here. So don't let them fool you that I'm trying to play Trump. I'm great enough on my own, thank you very much. And with your help, I will be greater. With your strength and your courage, and together we can win this thing. I can smell it. I can taste it. Victory is within our grasp. All we have to do is hold together, band together, stay committed and dedicated, because if we do not rescue our country now, you know what's going to happen? We will be worse than Haiti. The ground where we are going, the trajectory is to Haitianize Trinidad and Tobago. We must not stand by and let that happen in our beloved country. We have to stop the rowdy government from now. We have to work together. And so we'll take all the necessary steps. Tonight I say, Mr. Thomas's family has been split forever. What about their pain? They will never see him again. They'll never have another Christmas with him, another birthday, as the case may be. So many people are specialists in saying a lot of airy-fairy words. They feel it sounding nice. And what are they really saying? They're saying nothing at all. They dance around issues, but do not take firm positions to put forward any firm opinion and solution because they're afraid to offend anyone. I am not afraid to offend anyone. If it is, we choose a pathway. If it's the right thing to do, we will take that pathway for our beloved country. If a person is too much of a coward to express an opinion, to defend the safety of our citizens, that person is not fit to lead. They're deceiving themselves and all of you. The well-being of TNT citizens, I say, must always come first. All the time, every time, the well-being of the people of Trinidad and Tobago takes priority first. I know my colleagues have spoken about this before, but I want to say something about it, Will. When you listen carefully to the Honorable Prime Minister in that long press briefing he had, and they asked him, promises that Mr. Hines is not going back for his seat. Well, he kind of waffled a bit. And then eventually he said, well, yeah, his family and whatever. No seat for Hines. And he then said, well, he will still be there with us when we go back into the government. You vote for Rowley and the PNM, you're getting back Hines for the next 5 years. Eh? Understand that, you know. Because even though they're not putting back for the seat, they'll put him where? In the Senate. And next thing you know, next 5 years of this waste of time, Hines. We can't take it. The country cannot take it. As of yesterday, December 1, we had recorded 562 murders for the year. There's an editorial in today's Express. And I think it's up on the screen. Figures from CAPA, branch of police, show that the country has averaged 53 murders for every month in 2024. 53. So if December follows suit, we are looking at a year-end total about 595 and 630. Between 2015 and now, the homicide rate has been about 488 persons a year. That's a total of about almost 5,000 persons, almost 5, dead to date. Most of the victims were in their early 20s, the early 30s. These are the children of our country. These are the young ones of our country, between 20s and early 30s. That's the prime of their short lives. After all, about 80% of those, about 5,000 deaths under the watch of this Prime Minister. They are black men murdered in PNM constituencies. So don't come and talk to me about race. Take care of yours first. If you can't take care of your own, who will you take care for? Don't come in this campaign on race and don't get chained up on race. I remember fellow Morgan J. says to see grace in every face, not race. Are you anything, you know, Shakespeare's famous? If you cut me, what will you find? The same red blood. The same red blood that flows in all our veins. We are all children of God. Let us stay together and work together. They don't care what people living in their own constituencies, who vote for them every election. The PNM has no incentive to make their strongholds, constituencies, great places to live, because they take those votes for what? For granted. God doesn't even know why the PNM voters, whose loved ones are being murdered and slaughtered in these strongholds, every day they keep putting back the same people in power. God alone knows. Rowley and the PNM's only concern is to make themselves rich and richer, and to make their friends and their family and financiers. He told us, you know, his job is to make the rich richer. Don't ever forget that. Never about improving the lives of ordinary, average citizens in our country. People are fed up with this violence and crime, but nothing will change until the government is voted out. It will not change. The PNM has hatched a plan to fool the country into believing Hines will be gone as National Security Minister after election, because it said they're not giving him a seat. So why you're not giving him back a seat? Why you don't move him now? Why don't you get rid of him now? After all these murders and all that, and human invasions, extortion, what you keeping him for? You're admitting he's a failure. You're not giving back seat, but you're leaving him there, what, to make hundreds more die before that election? Why has he not moved Hines as the Minister of National Security? If he believes that Hines is good enough for his seat, he doesn't think so. Why still a minister? Why? Every month there's about 53 murders under this government. They can save hundreds of lives between now and the next general election by removing Hines and attempting to put someone else to try. If the PNM wins the next election, I repeat, they will put back Hines as National Security Minister. Don't fool yourself. That is their plan. They will make him a senator, then put him back as National Security. The Prime Minister and Hines are engaged in an election propaganda stunt to try to fool you. But you're smarter than that. You always say, fool me once and twice. You always tell me don't say it because I might mix it up. But you can't fool us every time. And not this time. You're not going to fool us with that foolishness and nonsense. So he's going to put him back. And you will be out there, you'll be signing your own death certificate and those of your loved ones. They're trying to dupe you with the same scheme they use with the utility price increases. I mentioned before, Barry has spoken of it many times. They kept delaying, pushing the can down the road for the water rates, electricity. They just said, how you say, Barry? Hold, Dorothy. Wait, Dorothy, wait. But should they win? Sorry, Dorothy. All going up. So make sure they do not win. Don't get tied up. Vote UNC. Make sure Hines is not your next National Security Minister. Make sure. And make sure Rowley is not your next Prime Minister after that election. I ask the good Lord to continue to bless and keep you and your loved ones. We will meet again on Monday. On Thursday, we have the pavement report. It is in Caroni Central. Caroni Central will post up on the various media. So Thursday, Monday night report. And then next Monday, we go into the great constituency of St. Joseph. We'll be doing a town hall. And the topic will be healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago. Health. You would have seen. So, Mr. Diyar Singh, I don't even get back your seat tonight. But whether you get it or not, we are in St. Joseph. On Monday next, I look forward to seeing you all there as we deal with healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago. God bless you. Get home safe, everyone. Please, get home safe. Thank you.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for.
Do you know that in 2016, 66 liters of diesel cost $100? Today, under the PNM, you get 20 liters of diesel for $100. The diesel you paid $100 for under the UNC now costs $327 under the PNM, which directly affects the cost of food, transport, and services. Guess who I'm voting for next time?